What's going on, guys? Zen here, coming from Holy Kinetics. We're here to do another breakdown of a topic today. Today, we're going to be looking into training splits and how to utilize them. Let's dive into it. So a training split is any type of workout regimen that you maintain for any type of period amount of time, usually maintained throughout some type of mesocycle.
A mesocycle is any type of training regimen or workout program that you usually maintain for a month's time. And within that month's time, or within that mesocycle, usually breaks down into 4 microcycles, 1 cycle per week. So 1 microcycle is 1 workout regimen for a week's time. You have a mesocycle that is a workout regimen for a month's time. You have a macrocycle, which is usually the workout regimen from anywhere to 6 months to a year. In the terms of competition, both for competitors and for athletes, usually mesocycles, macrocycles, and microcycles are all maintained around the performance of a off season, an on season, and a transitory season. And if you guys are looking for a deeper dive of getting a better understanding of what an on season is, what an off season is, and what a transitory season is for both an athlete and for a competitor, please let me know down in the comments and I can do a deeper dive in going into it and explaining it in higher detail.
The hierarchy of the main training splits is usually broken down between 4 training splits. You have a full body split, you have an upper lower split, you have a push-pull leg split, and you have a body part split, aka the bro split. Let's start with the full body split. A full body split is usually going to encompass using your whole entire body through various mechanical movements to get a full utilization of the body within one workout. Usually full body splits is going to take anything from compound movements of various muscle groups and put into one workout.
And usually within these various muscle groups, when you hit them in a full body workout, you also have the ability of kind of picking any type of accessory movements that you want to do, really based on, depending on, what you want to focus on that day. So it does give you a lot of ease when it comes to just figuring out what you're actually going to do once you walk inside of a gym.
So an example of this, when you see someone doing a full body split, you can maybe see them, maybe they're going to hit squats, and then after the squats, maybe they'll go ahead and they'll go and hit chest. They'll hit the chest press. Full body splits is very utilizable for beginners and people that are just limited on time. So full body workouts can be very great when it comes to just efficiency in the gym. One, you don't have to wait for using a machine. So in case there's one machine that you're waiting on, and say you wanted to start with squats, but you're doing a full body workout, and within the rest of that workout, you're gonna have to hit chest anyway. Well, you can go ahead and hit the chest press, either using a machine, using some type of pulley, or even using the bench. And then as you wait for that squat rack to open up, then you can just do squats right afterward. So that's the benefit of having a full body split. It does give you a lot of availability when it comes to what you can do within the gym. There isn't a lot of organization to a full body split, hence why it's not really suitable once you get a little bit farther in your journey.
But there are and have been many pro bodybuilders that have utilized full body splits and have seen great results from them. But a lot of the times, full body splits do need to go through a little bit of tweaking, mostly dependent upon the person thereof, to be able to get a better utilization, because a lot of the times it does lack a lot of optimization according to how you train. But at the end of the day, it is something that is preference, and certain tweaks and certain modifications can always be introduced to allow for a full body split to be better optimized for the body.
Then we have the upper lower split. Upper lower split is any type of split where you have the upper body as the main focus and the lower body is the main focus on 2 separate days. Now, with the upper day, that can be anything involving the upper body. That can be the chest, that can be the shoulders, that can be the back. Everything that is involving the upper body can be utilized within those upper days. Lower days is going to be anything that is posterior and lower. So that can include the mid, lower back. That can also include the hamstrings, the glutes, quads. You have a good adequate rest time frame, and a lot of people utilize an upper lower just for the sake of having the use of time. Usually with an upper lower, you're able to hit upper twice, lower twice in a week. So that's 4 workouts during the week, and that is adequate rest for anybody that needs that type of rest if you utilize that type of split. Upper and lower splits are utilized by some beginners, and it's more so known as an intermediate style of training, or just people, again, that are limited on time. You have a push-pull leg split. A push-pull leg split utilizes mechanical movement. Now, push-pull legs means that one day is going to encompass all pulling movements, One day is going to encompass all pushing movements, and one day is going to encompass the legs overall. Any type of push movement. That means these days are going to encompass both the chest, you got the triceps, you have the shoulders. All movements where you are pushing weight off of you, that's going to encompass your push day. Then you have your pull days. Your pull days is going to encompass the back. Anything that's a rowing motion, anything that's a pulling motion, you are pulling the weight towards the body. That's going to encompass you for your pull days. Then you have the legs. The legs is anything that's going to be the lower body. So it's the quads, that's the hamstrings, it's the calves.
Head back. Make it count.
With the push-pull-leg split, it's very efficient when it comes to how you utilize your body. So I'll give you a good example. For your first push day, you have it concentrated more so as a chest-oriented day. Then you have your first pull day, right after the push. You can encompass the upper, the mid-back, maybe even a little bit of the delts because you just hit the shoulders lightly the day before. So you're just gonna be flashing them slightly. But we'll keep it light with the upper and mid-back. Then you hit the legs. We can maybe concentrate on the quads and the calves. Really hammer those quads. Then you rest. Then after that rest, hit push-pull legs again. So what are we gonna do on that second rotation of push? Maybe you can concentrate more so on the shoulders this time. Why? Because you've already had 2 days of rest before to rest those shoulders. So now you can really fry those shoulders. You take it easy on the chest on that second push day. See how the flow goes? So you're just rotating the focal points of those same movements. So one day can be a chest-oriented push day. The next day can be a push-oriented shoulder day. Then for the pulley, maybe you can do an upper, mid-back for one day. And then for the next pull day, maybe you could do the lower, posterior back, maybe even the glutes. Then for the legs, you hammer out the glutes and the hamstrings one day. Then one day, you hit the calves, and then you hit the quads. What the push-pull legs utilizes is allows you to really hammer the muscle. And when you hit that twice a week with 2 days of rest throughout the week, it is very, very efficient. This is a type of training split that's been utilized by beginners, intermediates, experienced lifters, bodybuilders, Olympias. It's known as probably one of the better splits just from mechanical movement and mechanical efficiency overall. Then you have the good old bro split.
Motherfucker! Come on, buddy! Let's go. You gotta make up for that shit! Somebody's out there saying your name's not Chris! Nobody! You're Chris fucking Trent! I'm Chris Trent! Come on!
The bro split is probably the one split that everybody knows about. You have your chest day, then you got your shoulder day, then you got your leg day, then so on and so forth. The bro split, though it gets a lot of heat, is not necessarily a bad split, but it is a split that I feel has its time and utilizations in certain places. Is it a split that can be utilized in the off season to dial certain body parts in? Yes. But is it something that in long term can be utilized as your only split that you ever use? I wouldn't recommend it. The one thing that the bro split also lacks is management of efficiency. So if you think about it, you have the chest, you have the back, you got the legs, you also have different parts of the shoulders, you also have different parts of the back, and you have both the front and the back legs. So if you really think about it, with that type of rotation, and say you also include an arm day, because we haven't even said if you're gonna include an arm day or not. Now, that's over 5 to 6 days of working out.
And it's not to say that 5 to 6 days is a lot of days, but 5 to 6 days of working out and you're only hitting one body part a week is just not efficient long term. You could be making way more gains with something that is more efficient, that involves something that is more mechanically based and not just body part based.
You don't necessarily know which days necessarily are gonna be your rest days unless you choose to blast through your whole entire body, do maybe 5 or 6 days, then you rest afterward, or maybe you take a rest in between. So it does allow for a little bit more freedom in that aspect, but at the same time, it lacks a lot of organization. So hence, it's not a training split that I would recommend for long term. Now within these splits, you also have the amount of day splits that you can actually utilize as well. So a lot of the times people don't actually talk about this, but as much of the type of style of training that you do, the amount of frequency of your training is just as important as well. You could be under or over training and you don't even know, just because you may just think that, oh, your body is tired, oh, you're underperforming, or maybe, oh wow, I could actually push some more weight, but I'm gonna keep my energy back a little bit because I want to keep some reps in the tank. You know, not to attack any type of thought processes, but it's just something that has been probably overkilled within the fitness industry to keep reps in the tank. Let's go deep into how day-to-day frequency should be when it comes to a split. You can do anything from a 1 day to 2 day, all the way up to a 5, 6 day, even a 7 day split if you really wanted to do that, though that's not efficient and I don't recommend that. But let's go into the main flows that you usually see as a day-to-day split. You have a 3 day split, so that can be anything from upper, lower, legs, or upper, lower, and then a combination of both, and then you rest. That could also be a push, pull, legs, rest. Then you do that same cycle again. With the bro split, that can be applied as, say, for the beginning of the week, you do the chest, you do the back, then you hit the legs, then you rest, then you do shoulders, and then you hit arm day, any type of accessory movements afterward. And then maybe if you recovered all the way, you can go right into the chest again, then you rest. So a 3 day split is usually pretty good for people that are kind of limited on time. Mike Mentzer actually utilized the 3 day split.
Here now is a basic 3-day routine meant to be performed every other day with a 2-day rest on weekends. It is a full body workout that can be used by athletes, bodybuilders, and anyone interested in increasing overall strength and fitness. As a basic routine designed to work all the major muscle groups, it can be used by even advanced trainees with positive results.
So just keep that in mind. It's not so much how much you are working out, it is the quality of how you're working out at those times. But again, everything is always going to be preference, so keep that in mind. You got a 4-day split. Usually this split can be best utilized with that upper-lower split that we were talking about a little bit earlier. So a good example is that you have the upper, say you hit the chest, the shoulders, then you have the lower, you hit the quads and the calves. Then you hit the upper again, maybe the back with the biceps. Then the next day you hit the hamstrings and the glutes. Then you rest. Then you do that same rotation again. You can also do that with a push-pull legs as well, where say you utilize push, chest, triceps, then you hit the pull, you hit the back, lower, mid-back maybe, then you hit the legs, lightly hit the legs. Maybe we can even start off with just hitting the glutes and hamstrings just because we lightly hit the lower mid-back the day before, so they're already gonna be kind of fried, but we can actually get a full workout of those lower mid-back by also hitting the hamstrings as well, light leg day. Then you go right into the shoulders, then you rest. Now, you also have a 5-day split. 5-day split is usually best for people that are going to be more so on the intermediate and advanced level. 5-day splits is a high amount of frequency of training depending on what you're going to be doing. And for the most part, it really doesn't matter what kind of training split that you're doing. The bro split is actually probably the best example of a 5-day split. You have the chest, you have the shoulders, you got the legs, you got the back, you got the arms. 5 days. But you can also use the 5-day split with other rotations as well. Say if you wanted to do a push-pull legs, but you wanted to also utilize a 5-day split based off of your schedule. Well, you can easily do that. Say you take the push, you go chest, light on the triceps, okay? We're not gonna fry those triceps because we're gonna need those 2 days later. We have the push day first, and we go to the pull. Maybe we'll hit the upper mid-back lightly, okay? Because this is gonna be a high amount of frequency, so we're not trying to hit heavy weight here.
But what's considered heavyweight is completely subjective to the person, so also keep that in mind as well. Anything that's going to be considered lighter weight is 70% of your max weight and lower.
We are trying to focus on proper form, proper utilization, full range of motion of the muscles. Then you hit that leg day. After that leg day, we're going to focus more so on the quads, the calves, maybe a little bit of the hip flexors. We're going to go right back in the chest again. Light chest, emphasize those shoulders more so, but still just lightly hit the chest. Keep everything stimulated. Then that second pull day, mid, lower back. Then that next leg day, glutes, hamstrings. Then that 5th day, you can utilize the arms. Then you're done. Rest. Then you do the same again.
This next day can also be utilized as any type of makeup day. Say you have a body part or you have a certain area that you are lacking that you know you may haven't put in as much effort in. You can use that 5th day to be able to use it as what they call a makeup day. So you use that to just Focus on your problem areas, focus on the parts that you maybe didn't get a chance to really emphasize throughout the rest of the week so that you're able to have a balanced training regimen.
There's many ways to utilize not only the type of training split, but the frequency of your training split as well. Now, the big question is, what is the best training split? What is gonna give me the most muscle? What is the most optimal for me? What is gonna make me a beast? What's gonna put me on stage? What's gonna make me look like Chris Bumstead? The best training split is the split that you can maintain and the split that you can stick to. It sounds so redundant, but it's very true. The best training split that you can do is one that you can stick with, period. End of story. Find a split that you like and enjoy and stick with it. There's no magic potion to it, just stick with it. For the people that do also ask for me, I actually do utilize a push-pull leg split. So a push-pull legs for me is usually gonna encompass where my first day is gonna be the chest. I may hit the shoulders lightly, but I'm more so gonna hit the chest. I've been focusing on my upper chest, been trying to build that. So it's gonna be the upper chest, usually a little bit of the tries. I really fry my upper chest though. Concentrate more so on that, and I try not to utilize the shoulders too much. It's gonna be more so chest, triceps. Then my pull day, I usually focus on the upper mid-back. Try to hit the rear delts as well on that day. Legs, I'm gonna hit the quads, hit a little bit of the glutes, a little bit of the calves. Then I rest. Then I do that same flow again, but this time, now I'm concentrating on the shoulders. Shoulders, do a little bit of the tries again, because I try to keep those active, and I also hit the upper chest again. I need to be able to have a better shelf when I hop on stage, so that's what I usually do. Then that next pull day, I'm hitting the mid, then I also hit the lower back, the posterior angles, to try to make sure I concentrate on really creating that tree effect on my back. And then that next leg day, we're hitting the glutes, we're hitting the hamstrings. We're gonna make sure we really emphasize the booty and emphasize them quads, boy, so we can make sure we have some tree trunks down there. And then we rest again.
But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys utilize training splits? Do you guys routinely change your training splits? Do you guys utilize a push-pull legs, or do you still utilize a bro split? Let me know down in the comments. Also, please like, share, follow, and subscribe for more information. Anything dealing with unbiased bodybuilding content, please follow down below. But in all, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. This is Zinni coming from Holy Kinetics. Peace.
Tom Platz on the way here, and he was like, "Kill me," and I'm like, "Don't be that loser guy."